I'll do it. Okay, we're recording now. Hello. So, let me share my screen. Oh, forgot to turn on my camera. Bam. Okay. Zoom. Share screen. Bam. Okay. Hello. Welcome. Yay! It's web dev. All right, so today we're going to be talking about something called progressive web apps. You may have heard of me rambling on and on about how they're amazing. Basically, they are like mobile apps or PC apps, right? Except they run in your browser. So there are a lot of features that you can't access usually on a website, right? Like, for example, you can't usually access notifications, or like you can't, I don't know, run your website offline. So if the person opens up the website when you don't have internet, it doesn't work, right? It just says that dinosaur Chrome thingy. But with PWAs, you can change the entire thing to basically be an installed app. So you can have your website run offline, do notifications, etc. All right, I opened up the chat because I like memeing in the chat, so I'm gonna keep that open. All right. So first of all, what is a PWA actually? It's basically a flexible, adaptable app using only web technologies. So the only things you code with are browser stuff and your server stuff. So you don't actually have to worry about like Android development, iOS development, etc. And it takes advantage of web and native app features, both, because with PWAs, you can do some things that regular websites can't. So for example, if you wanted to have notifications in your app, right? So even if your app isn't open, you still get notifications when someone texts you, for example, then you would use a PWA, because you wouldn't be able to do that with a normal website. And the reason this is nice is because the user doesn't have to have your website open the entire time. It can just run stuff in the background, even if you have it closed. So it's basically just an app. And some common features are that PWAs work offline. They're installable onto your phone or onto your computer, and they're easy to synchronize, responsive. You can send links to them. So like when you share something in an app, usually, or when you share an app, usually you send them like an install link, right? Like download on the Play Store, download on the iOS store or whatever. With PWAs, you don't actually have to do any of that. You just link the website and then it just works. So no installations, nothing. It's just amazing. All right, so I'm going to talk about service workers first. It's a type of web worker. Web workers are basically like background tasks that run separately from your main view in your browser, and it can intercept network requests, cache, retrieve stuff on its own, deliver push messages, etc. And it's designed to be asynchronous. So remember when I showed like async await and like promises and stuff? Basically, service workers take full advantage of promises. Main view, I'll see. Okay, alrighty then. Okay, so so service workers are different from normal workers in that they work even when the app isn't actually open. So even after you close the website, you can keep running code, and you can run code when you can instruct the code to run when your server tells it to run. So yeah, that promotes interactivity, because then you can have notifications that come up when a certain event occurs, or like reminders and stuff. And you can also provide offline access to content. So for example, if I just go into Windows over here and like disconnect from the internet, then if I go to, for example, I don't know, google.com or youtube.com, it won't load anything. But if I had a PWA, then it would still show my user interface, and it'll be like, oh, you're offline, you can't connect. And then maybe if I cached some content, like for example, let's say I have a book app, right? And I have some books that I opened recently, and then if I go to the app while I'm offline, it won't just show that I'm offline. It will actually like show some of the recent books that I've read, and then I can open them up if they're in my storage. And yeah, so PWAs are, in summary, pretty quick and nice apps you can deploy, and you can make it load very quickly with caching and use service workers for special features. Next slide. PWA examples. I will show you one because we're building one. Yay. Okay. Discord actually isn't a PWA. Last time I checked, they don't have a manifest, I don't think. One PWA I know of is hold on, which example was I going to say? The I can't remember. I had a really good example, but I forgot which one. So I'm going to skip over that one. So offline and cache APIs. Basically, again, like I said, service workers can handle the cache. So caching is basically like when you ask your server for something and then you know it won't be updated very often, you can just have the browser remember what the response was. So that way you don't have as much of a load on your server and you can save bandwidth. And so service workers have something called a cache API where you can manually maintain the cache. So you can say like, okay, I want to keep this file saved on this computer for like a week. And then this file doesn't get updated as often, so you can leave it alone for a year or something like that. And then PWAs are cache first. So if something is cached, it'll always go for the cache, and then it will only ask your server for the resource if it doesn't exist or it hasn't seen it before. Yeah, so service workers cannot access the DOM. If you remember earlier in the year, I talked about how like the stuff you see on the screen is the DOM, and then you can manipulate DOM from JS. It's a separate script, so you can't actually directly manipulate the DOM, but you can send a message to your main JavaScript file, which then can manipulate the DOM. So there's like a connection or like a communication layer between the two that you have to use. Right, and the web push API is basically the notification system for web apps, and it allows you to send notifications to users even when they don't have the app open and they don't have the app open, and if they're, as long as they're subscribed to your notification service, you can send pretty much anything almost as frequently as we want. And the only thing it requires is an active service worker and some like 10 lines of code. So it's very easy. And the way you send a notification is that you actually tell the owner of the browser or the vendor that you want to send the notification. So for example, when I subscribe to, say I have an app, right? I subscribe to notifications on the app. First, my computer tells Google that I want to subscribe to notifications, and then Google gives me like a key, right? I give that key to my server, and then when my server wants to send me a notification, it sends Google saying, hey, I want to send a notification to this key, and then Google sends it over. And this is good because if a malicious app or like a hacker wanted to spam you with 100 notifications a second, they can't because Google will just block it. So yeah, that's a very nice side effect. All right, so I'm gonna demo how PWAs actually work in practice. So let me open it up. All right, here's my terminal. So here I have all my repositories, right? I'm gonna open my my app in Visual Studio Code. Oh, there's a VS Code server update. Nice. Okay. You need to redact that. It's okay. Nobody knows. All right, so this is the same app that I showed you guys a bit ago, the transcription thing. All right, so now we're in our app. I'm going to zoom in a little. Zoom more. Okay. To configure a PWA, all you have to do is add one file, and that's just called a manifest.json. And then inside you put like the name of your app, short name, icons, start URL, and then what type of display mode you want, the background color and theme color, and that's it. And once you have this, it'll become a PWA. So let's say I open the Autoscriber app that we have, and I can send you guys a link if you want to try it out yourself. So you can, oh, I forgot to uninstall the app because I already have it installed. Let me quickly uninstall it so I can demo the installation process. And so if I reload, there's like an install the app notification here, right? I put that in myself. And then you can also see here that it says, ooh, install the app. So you can just click this and click install. And then you notice that it's very fast. So now it's just an app, and it comes up in your start menu like a normal app. It opens like a normal app, and it just works like a normal app. And this is on pretty much every platform, except I don't know why, but Firefox. This no work. Well, I mean, it should. It should work. Okay, so I'm gonna demo on my phone as well now. So let me uninstall the app on my phone. While I'm at it, I'm gonna explain how service workers work. So there's a utility in Vue that registers a service worker for you. So that's very nice. You just say register and then the URL of your service worker, which is right here. And then I can quickly explain what this service worker does. Basically, it has a URL that I have a URL that I told it to cache. And then again, caching is just like remembering what the content of a request was. So you save bandwidth. And so first of all, here, when the it's listening for an install event. So when the service, when the app gets installed, it'll activate the service worker. And then here, when the service worker gets activated, it'll cache the stuff. And then here, it overrides fetch. So if there's a resource that has been cached, you can bring it out from the cache. Link leads to an empty page. Really? Huh. Did I not paste the right link? Let's see. Let us see. Oh, that's the right link. Or if you're using Firefox, maybe. Oh yeah, you have to use Chrome for this for now. For the foreseeable future, you have to use Chrome. Sorry, guys. Yeah, okay. Or Edge, I guess. Any Chromium browser. Okay, so now you might be wondering, how the heck do you test a PWA, right? Because you don't, you say you want to test your Android phone, and then you want to test it if it runs, you want to debug it. I have my phone right here. Let's install the app first. So where's Edge? There it is. Okay. Yeah, don't judge me. I use Edge on my phone. Autoscriber. What's the link again? I can't remember my own address. Autoscriber app.github.io. Okay, I'm going to try my best to show this by turning off my lights. I'm turning off this light. Okay. So here I have the app as you can see as before, right? And I'm going to click the install button. Oop, if you can even see that. Yeah, install. Yeah. And then just click yes. It adds to the home screen. And now let's say I want to debug my app on my phone, right? Then I just plug in my phone. You don't need any quirky Android stuff. And then you open the app. So the app is now open on my phone. You just plug it in. Go to Chrome:/inspect. Wait a little bit for the device to recognize, and then bam, there's a bunch of stuff here. Now, let's see which one is the right one. So I think this one. I cannot tell if this is the right one or not. Let's see. Let's see. Let me close all my tabs because I don't know which one is the right app tab. Okay, let me turn my lights back on as well. Oop. Okay, let me plug in my phone again. Oop. All right, autoscriber app, there it is. Okay, so now we're connected to the app itself. So then if we, for example, say window.location, location.href, it'll say, oh, we're in this app. Okay. So now if you wanted to, for example, let's say I want to just replace the entire content of this web page with like nothing because I'm bored. So document.body.innerHTML equals and then just nothing. So then when I press enter, you should see the stuff on my screen disappear. Yeah. So this is useful when you're debugging stuff because say you have an error that only comes up on your phone, right? You can actually debug your app without touching Java or Kotlin or any Android development thing and get debugging away. All right, so now we have an app, right? We have an app that works. Let me use my microphone. I wonder why you can't see the screen though. Hold on. In theory, you're supposed to be able to see the screen. Let me use my other stable installation image. Let's see if that works. Does this work for iPhone? Kind of. I'll explain how that works. So on iPhone, unfortunately, Apple doesn't like supporting notifications. So notifications work on Mac, it works on Windows, it works on Linux, it works on everywhere except for iPhone. So what you have to do for iPhone is you have to create like a separate iOS app that pretty much puts your PWA inside it. There's some nuances to that, but yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, okay, there it is. Okay, this works. So you guys can see this, right? So if I move my phone here, you can actually see that it's reflected. So if I click here, bam, home, whatever. And the best part is I can click it from a computer as well. So that's pretty sick. All right, let's try reloading. Reload. If I click this mic icon and start talking, it will recognize what I'm saying. Pretty cool. Okay, let's finish that off. And then I'll show you how offline works. So let me turn off my Wi-Fi. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is now off on my phone. I don't think you can see that here, but okay, let's reload now. Should not reload. And surprise, surprise, the app still works. If you press the mic button, it won't recognize anything because it doesn't have internet. Oh, actually it does. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Oh, it's using data. Never mind. I forgot to turn off data. Okay, let me turn off data and try it again. Let's reload. If this works, I'll be surprised. It does. What the heck? Okay, so that means Android has some kind of language model built into the phone. So that's pretty sick. I did not know that. All right. Oh, well, it's kind of broken, actually. Yeah, it's definitely a bit broken. Moral of the story, leave your internet on. Okay, yeah, and you can see that there's errors here, right? And if you were to debug these errors without proper debugger, that would be really hard. So with this remote debugger thing, you can just click where the error was, and you'll be like, oh, that's where the error was. Okay. And you can like monitor network events and etc. All right, so now you have a PWA, and you're thinking, all right, how do I put this on the store or App Store? there's a website called PWA Builder, which is super useful. Basically, all you have to do is copy your app URL, paste it, start. It'll analyze some stuff for you. You know, ignore these scores. Some of my scores are pretty questionable, but it's a work in progress. So you just click continue, and it doesn't use HTTPS. Yeah, I forgot to paste the HTTPS URL. Whoops. Let's go back and do that again. Overview, or wait, hold on. Okay, paste that in. Start. All right, that's not bad. 83%. That's a solid B. Let's build this PWA to PWA. So you can see here that there are options. You have the PWA here, and then you can just download an Android app that's already pre-built. So let's just download this. Invalid Android options must have an icon URL. Okay, well, yeah. So all you have to do is configure these options, like what's your icon URL, what's your maskable icon, etc., etc. And then once you're done with that, you can just download the app and then put it right on the store. You can even do that for Windows and Samsung devices. So that's pretty sick. The only thing is on iOS, you got to do some trickery. So if you're planning on releasing an app with notifications on iOS, then you might want to look into building a native app. But otherwise, if you just have an app, then on iOS PWAs work fine. So yeah. Let me check the chat. Wait, does anybody know how to track how many users? Okay. Okay, so yeah, basically pwabuilder.com. Once you have a PWA, it's the best or the easiest place you can deploy or you can create your app. And the best part is this entire website was built using Vue, so that's pretty cool. Ronak is typing svelte right now. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. PWAs, cool. PWAs, yes. Regular websites, no. Basically, is the moral of the story. So if you're trying to make an app that works on all platforms, you can either go with like a native solution, for example, Flutter, which is basically a way to make an app for Android and iOS, or you can go with the PWA, which is a website that's basically transformed into an app. Cool. Any questions? If not, I'll just put the sign-in link and code. Code is PWA. That's it for today. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
All right, goodbye, guys. Take it easy.
Bye. Thank you. Dankeschön.